Real Madrid went on the attack against the referees once again, despite having been favoured in the match. To make matters worse, they also took aim at Barcelona, while Xabi Alonso fired back at Laporta after the Barça president claimed that Real is the club most benefited by referees and is obsessed with the team that dominated world football for so many years. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. After days of silence, Joan Laporta finally responded to Florentino Perez's comments, accusing the Real Madrid president of suffering from Barcelonite, an obsession with Barcelona. Deep down, Real Madrid, institutionally and in their hearts, knew Laporta was telling the truth, so they chose not to respond. But Xabi Alonso didn't stay quiet. Before the match against Girona, the coach hit back at Laporta, especially irritated by the claim that 2 Real Madrid goals against Elche earlier this season should have been disallowed.
Pero ayer Laporta, el presidente del Barça, dijo que el Madrid tenía barcelonitis y que los goles de Elche, los dos.
Reacting to Laporta, Alonso accused the Barça president of sending populist messages just to please his supporters. We focus on the game, on winning in a fair, sporting way. Every match is a test of that and we have to prove it, he said. Xabi Alonso's reaction is curious. If I were him, I wouldn't have commented on that controversial match against Elche. The robbery was obvious. Elche's coach exploded with anger at the officiating and made it clear to the press that whenever they face Real Madrid, something abnormal always seems to happen. And speaking of that, the penalty won by Vinícius, which led to Mbappe's equaliser in the 1-1 draw against Girona, also raised eyebrows. To me, that penalty looked very questionable. If you look at the frames, it seems like the Girona defender steps on Vini's foot while running, but his left foot never actually touches the player. Vini takes advantage of the moment, goes down in the box, and forces the referee's decision. Watching his body movement, you can see him leaning toward the ground with his hand raised, signaling for a penalty. A clear dramatic gesture. Yes, there's the impression that the defender stepped on him, but another frame shows there wasn't any real contact. Vini lightly brushes the opponent's foot and then screams to catch the referee's attention as he goes down. In the end, I think it was a dubious penalty. I have to admit, Vini was clever in creating a situation that gave him an advantage and pushed the referee toward a decision. And you, what's your take? Clear penalty or doubtful? His reaction says a lot. Without that penalty, there's no win for Madrid.
So yeah, I mean, we talk about Barcelona, what about Hansi Flick's issues, what about the defence, but at least they've got something about them, really got something about them going forward. If you said to me, are Real Madrid going to put a run together now? Is the second half of the season going to be really strong? I would be like, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, and once again, there's nothing in this performance that, if I was a Real Madrid fan, that got me excited. Really nothing.
No, I want to get back to that Rodrigo moment. You said you were okay with the referee's decision on it.
I don't think there was look, I'm not denying there was contact, but
I'm sorry. If I'm Real Madrid, I'm not a happy camper. To me, that's a penalty kick.
Who's the leader in this Real Madrid team right now?
Mbappe. And he's not really a leader per se, is he? He's not a shouter or, a midfield enforcer. He's leading by what he's doing in front of goal.
He said, get me the ball and I'll show you how to do it.
But that's the problem. It becomes one-dimensional when it's the Kylian Mbappe show. Now, they have other players that should be able to step up, and we saw a little bit with Vinícius, particularly in the second half. But we didn't see a lot of Bellingham. So many issues they're dealing with in terms of the defences and the midfield and Barcelona's high line that the guys mentioned and their reliance here on Kylian Mbappe. Is it a season for one of these others from the top 4 to step up and shake up the big 2? Because to me at the moment, and there's a big question whether certainly Villarreal have the squad to go and do it. We know Atleti have the squad. Whether the manager puts the brakes on remains to be seen. But there would be nothing at all from Barcelona and Real Madrid that would frighten me. And I think we're seeing that in results. We saw, the lads mentioned Olympiacos. I mean, it was 4-3. It wasn't like they romped Olympiacos by 5 goals. And Barcelona go to Chelsea, who are a good side, but they're not the top side in England at the moment, and got absolutely walloped. 3-0. Could have been, oh yeah, they were down to 10 men. Araujo gets sent off. But it was a non-contest, even when it was 11 v 11. So the top 2 in Spain at the moment, I think would be sending a message to the others, certainly the 2 closest rivals, and saying, hey, there's a championship here to be gotten this year, because neither of the two of these are any great shakes, if we're being honest about it.
After the 1-1 draw with Girona, Real Madrid TV exploded once again, accusing the referees of manipulating the match by refusing to call a supposed penalty on Rodrigo in the 80th minute. Of course, they also attacked Barcelona over the Negreira case. For them, the real culprit is Barcelona, who they claim manipulated referees in the past and whose children continue the legacy today. Real Madrid TV stated, La Liga has been corrupt for some time. Real Madrid has lost 4 points because of Negreira's sons. De Burgos Bengoechea is one of the referees with the most blatant record against Real Madrid. There's irregularity because VAR doesn't call the referee. It happened in Vallecas and it happened in Girona. They continued on the club's official channel. Whether Real Madrid is playing well or not, the truth is the referees are interfering. The people who should be making decisions are absent, and the president justifies everything. And who is the vice president of the federation? Javier Tebas, they concluded. And so, RMTV keeps up its personal crusade against referees, always bringing Barcelona into the conversation, a move that only heightens tensions in a league that looks increasingly likely to be decided by the smallest details. They claim Real Madrid dropped 4 points because of Negreira's sons, but the reality is different. The club lost those points because it wasn't good enough to win the matches without relying on controversy or favourable calls. And when that doesn't happen, the blame automatically falls on the referees and Barcelona. However, on the field, referee Ricardo de Burgos ruled that there wasn't enough contact to award a penalty, and the VAR, led by Juan Luis Pulido Santana, correctly refrained from intervening, following the CTA's guideline that the on-field referee's decision should prevail. Xabi Alonso expressed surprise in the press conference, but there was no major refereeing error. There was also another incident in the first half where VAR did intervene. It happened in the 39th minute, when Mbappé handled the ball before scoring. After Girona's players complained, VAR notified the referee of a possible handball. Upon reviewing the play, he confirmed the ball had touched Mbappé's hand, and based on Law 12 of the IFAB, which penalizes goals scored directly or immediately after a handball, even if accidental, correctly disallowed the goal. Even so, sports analysts didn't miss the chance to criticize Real Madrid's disappointing season. Madrid superfan Tomás Roncero said, "The best midfield was replaced by kids straight out of the academy." He made it clear that Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde and company seem more concerned with their muscles than with playing football. It's true. Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde, they're like, come on, let's go, look at us, we're so strong, so ripped. Sure, but maybe they should take some care with the ball too, with 30-meter passes, dribbles, top corner shots. I'm saying this because you need something more than just looking ripped. He added, technically, they're good, yes. Tchouaméni has good touch, Camavinga has a spectacular left foot on paper, Valverde at his best is phenomenal, and Bellingham, look, I'll say it in English because he'll understand. He's disappeared. He dazzled the world and almost deservedly won the Ballon d'Or, and now he doesn't even know what position he plays. Roncero concluded, "It's frustrating to see 4 guys with such powerful athletic and technical abilities and then see it translate into almost no football at all. And Güler, who's theoretically the most talented, has vanished lately, another one who disappeared. It drives me crazy."
Estar contra las cuerdas, nos tienen que pegar 2 bofetadas para recordar que es el Madrid. ¿Quién es el Madrid? Bellingham. Mira que me gusta Bellingham, chico. Yo, desde que ha vuelto de la lesión, sí, ya sé que ha metido algún gol, pero no le reconozco. Güler la tiene que quitar el descanso. Camavinga, sí, hace la segunda parte, va.
Former Valencia and Real Madrid goalkeeper Santi Cañizares added, "I think Real Madrid's overall play is very poor, and the form of some players is unrecognizable. The sadness and lack of impact in Valverde's game is shocking." Rudiger commented, "I know my body very well, and as we get older, things aren't the same." On Movistar, Jorge Valdano praised Mbappé. "What Real Madrid needs to ask itself is where it would be right now without Kylian Mbappé." Journalist Santiago Segurola on Onda Cero's Radio Estadio Noche said, "Real Madrid won't play at home for over a month because of the NFL nonsense. These things matter in football too." He stressed again, "The team can't play at home because NFL teams have to use the stadium. Don't make me laugh." Kylian Mbappé posted on social media, "Of course this wasn't the result we wanted tonight, but La Liga goes on and there's still a long road ahead. We need to change this dynamic and show who we are as a team." He shared a photo from the match on Instagram with the caption, "The draw at Montilivi follows similar draws at home against Rayo Vallecano and Elche, leaving the team with just 3 points out of a possible 9 and costing them the top spot in the league to Barcelona."